SwoleBenji here. Today we're going to be talking about the patch notes that just dropped today, September 21st, but we're also going to talk about the upcoming patch notes, and there are some crazy stuff, like they are deleting Black Hands from the game. That's right, so if you are a Black Hands player, it's going to completely change the weapon into a one-handed weapon. We're going to talk about all that, so let's get started now with these patch notes, and let me just blow it up for you here real quick. Make it nice and big for you so you can read it. Alright, so the very first thing is these new artifacts have begun appearing as mobs and chest drops in the open world. So what this is the War Gauntlets, or the War Gloves, whatever they're called. That's what this is. They're going to start dropping as of today. So if you get your hands on them, remember, I made a video on how to profit off of this. Do not sell them at the regular market price. Always sell these new artifacts as high and as expensive as possible, okay guys? So do not be cheap with these. People will still buy them, alright? Hideout changes. So now hideouts require a channel to enter. This is so good for gankers and the game in general. Now if you set a hideout to home, you can instantly enter it, which is fine. And the protection bubble will still protect you even while you're channeling, so you don't have to worry about if you have the bubble, you can go back into the hideout, no problemo. Now, if you have your Roads of Avalon hideout set to home, you won't lose your home if you go to town or the Royal Cities. So that's cool. That's I mean, if you lose your hideout, you might never find it again, guys. So this is actually a really good change. The Castle Outpost changes. They removed the doors to make it easier to conquer by smaller groups, which is nice. I like the fact that smaller groups now have it easier to play this game. Warning messages about the Outposts are under attack now only appear in guild chat, which is kind of crappy. I don't like that change. And then the guards respawn every 60 seconds instead of 120. That's also kind of a pain in the butt, but hey, that's the game now. We just gotta live it, okay, guys? Faction warfare changes. Alright, we got enlisting with a faction with low recruitment rates. It has less of a penalty for players of lower rank. This is really nice. Newer players will absolutely benefit from that. Faction warfare kills in the red zones are now worth triple. 3 times as many faction points than knockouts in yellow zones. Now, I'm still not going to the red zones to kill people in faction warfare. I'm not going to do it. I'm still not going to do it. 3 times as many faction points is a step in the right direction, so I do appreciate that. I think that is an awesome change for those that are brave enough to go into the red zones. I am not. Areas previously owned by a faction other than Caerleon are now worth more faction points after a bandit assault begins. So what this means is that you can go and play the normal blue zone, yellow zone stuff. This is really good for me because I don't do bandit assaults. I think I did a few, but I didn't really like them, so it's whatever. Name tag changes. I think this one's really dumb. Added the option to display the guild names of other players without displaying their player names. That's stupid. You should always be able to see a player name. I don't think you should be able to hide player names. I don't know. I hate that. I want people to see my name, damn it. For faction flag players, other players flagged to the same faction now appear as allies. This is really nice because there have been so many times where I've been attacked by an enemy faction and people just ride by. They don't stop and they don't help. Maybe now that we have the same like highlighted blue name, they might stop and dismount and help me out, okay? So they added a tomes category, so this is interesting. A lot of people that follow my tutorial newbie guides are going to be confused now by this one, but they also added the new mount subcategory. For mounts, they can equip skins like Swift Claws, Dire Bears, Dire Boars, all that kind of stuff, right? I don't really know why they did this, but hey, you know, that's just how it is now. So, level 6 Crystal League tokens are now non-tradable. That's pretty funny. People were just buying them up, though, and yeah. So, good change. The pop-up message now displays when the usage fee of a player-owned crafting station was recently changed. The thing is, that's always been in the game, guys. That's nothing new. So unless they took it out of the game and they're putting it back in, because this used to be a thing. I used to go to crafting stations and some dickhead would change it to 999%, and the game would tell me, and I would be like, okay, well, I'll just go craft somewhere else. When both players in a corrupted... This is so good. When both players in a corrupted dungeon are knocked down, the get-up time is greatly reduced. If you fight someone and you knock them down and they knock you down, it's like a 3-minute wait or something. So this is a really nice change to have. They reworked the login and character creation screens. I don't like the new ones. I think they look ugly. I don't know why they changed it. There was nothing wrong with the old ones. Mobile players can now play with a guest account. I don't have a phone, so I can't comment on this. I don't really know what that means. I'm sorry, guys. But here's the big meat and potatoes. First up, we have bow nerfs. This is just talking about how bows were strong in Crystal League. Who cares? I don't play Crystal League. Most of your player base does not play Crystal League. But anyway, so basically they nerfed the attack damage and the attack speed a little bit. They gave you 1 extra stack. So it's almost equal to what it used to be, but it's not quite. But this is the big nerf. This is what makes bows shit. I am so glad I did not fame up bows. I really wanted to at one point, but I knew that bows were overpowered and that they would be nerfed, and here it is. Today's the day they're nerfed. Attack buff duration, 5 seconds down to 2.5 seconds. That's a 50% nerf. So what that means is when you attack someone with a bow, you get this little buff that makes your attack damage and attack speed increase. And after 2.5 seconds, it falls off. So what people used to do in Corrupted Dungeons is they would just like shoot a mob and keep their stacks at max. So that when you engage them, they would be just like machine gunning you down. So this prevents them from doing that. I know bows are overpowered as heck, and this is a well-deserved nerf. It sucks for bow users. I'm sorry. They should really offer free respecs. So cursed stabs are getting a small nerf. It's just on Dark Matter. No one uses this in PvE. This is some Crystal League bullshit. Who cares? Like, oh no, you 5 damage. Like, why is this even worth mentioning? Like, holy staffs. All right, so Hallow Fall users, you know, got screwed on this one. More cooldown for their E ability, but if they heal an ally, it's more cooldown reduction. So it's good for like ZVZs now. It's actually a buff in ZVZ, but it's a nerf in Corrupted Dungeons, which I hate fighting Hallow Fall in Corrupted Dungeons anyway. Everyone does. Nature staffs have also changed. The cleanse heal is now 3 more seconds longer for the cooldown. Now this is big. The blight staff, this actually ruins one of my guides. No longer slows enemies. This confused me the other day because I was like, I made a ZVZ guide, and you guys are going to see that ZVZ guide in about 2 to 3 weeks from now. But the point is that it no longer slows enemies, which is stupid because I use that to tag enemies. But whatever, it's their game. Healing output is a little lower, not a big deal. So Glaive's got a nerf. It's now 20 seconds to fling instead of 15. You know, I'm okay with that. I don't like being thrown around all the damn time. Swords. Now, this may look simple, all right? The Mighty Blow, which is the E ability on the broadsword, the cooldown is now 12 seconds. It's not 10 seconds anymore. It's only 12. So I know what you are saying. You're saying, oh, it's only 2 seconds. Who cares? But that is a 20% DPS nerf. 20%. That sucks. I mean, swords are kind of overpowered anyway, but it's whatever. Royal March movement speed lost 1% per stack, so it's about 10%. I think it needs more nerfs, to be honest, because everyone uses this in Corrupted Dungeons. It's whatever. I mean, that's just the meta. This is about battle mounts, the Phalanx Beetle, Flanks Beetle, whatever. You can read this yourself on the screen. Just pause the video. I've got it blown up enough for you. Full screen it if you can't see it. Make sure the quality's at 1080p. All right, I don't use battle mounts anymore. There's no real point. So they fixed Soul Link. It's 8 seconds to connect instead of 1. They made the second hit on a hamstring not work if you run out of heroic charges, obviously. And Fearless Rush, which is the Limhurst Boar, can now, you know, it won't work if you're at 150%. What people were using this for was like a ghetto mammoth. You could load up with 999,000% weight, and you could still use your Fearless Rush to get around. It was really stupid, so it's a good nerf. The AoE indication of spinning blades, which is their dual swords, is now correctly displayed for the caster to better communicate the minimum distance. Thank you. This one was really annoying to deal with. And improve the hit detection of the Devastating Strike, which is Black Hands, but this is stupid because they're taking it out of the game, and I'm going to show you that here in just a little bit, okay? We're going to talk about that. Fixed an issue where Hoarfrost would not deal AoE damage to surrounding targets. I am so glad this is fixed. As a Froststaff player, this was really dumb that this got broken, and it took them this long to fix. It's been months. Like, just put out a hot patch or something. Fixed an issue where Everlasting Spirit, which is the Cleric Robe's R ability, triggered too frequently, especially after Purge. I've never experienced this. I don't know what this is, but I'll take their word for it, okay? So they removed the option to suicide after you get knocked down by mobs in Corrupted Dungeons. I don't know why. I guess too many people were necking themselves and losing their gear, not knowing that they could just stand back up or something. I don't know. So they made it, they fixed an issue where you can get stuck spawning in Hellgates and Expeditions. I've never experienced this because I don't do Hellgates or Expeditions. So, fixed an issue where the faction flag players could become stuck in dungeons in overcrowded zones when respawning. I missed this because I could spawn camp people. It was a lot of fun. So they fixed an issue where the watering can was not displayed when watering plants. I mean, I've never seen that either, but hey, maybe it's like a cell phone thing. So they also fixed tradable Crystal League tokens are not visible on the marketplace. They also made tier 8 fiber large nodes not display enchantment levels. Again, this is all like in-game level stuff. They fixed the rare case where healing debuffs did not correctly apply right, like when you enter a zone, and I've seen that one. It's kind of funny. I haven't been able to replicate it. So they also fixed an issue where the scheduling a defense payout more than 15 minutes after the previous scheduled time would create an endless loop. I'm gonna admit, guys, I don't know what a defense payout is. I have no friggin' idea what this must be some sort of like Zerg versus Zerg thing or something. I don't know. The average player doesn't probably know what this is. I don't know what this is, okay? They also resolved an issue that prevented the elite faction mounts and Caerleon mount, of course. I don't know why they have to, like, differentiate. They're both faction. Like, Caerleon is a faction. You don't have to tell us that, oh, also Caerleon, guys. That the mount from ever being higher than normal quality. So, as someone who collects the mounts, I guess I gotta collect the higher quality ones now. Something to spend my silver on. And additional graphical, audio, and animation terrain UI localization fixes. Why don't you list them? Come on, man. Tell me. I want to know what trees are starting to sway in the wind. But we are not done. This is the NDA balance playtest. Alright, now this is not officially in the game, and this can officially change depending on how the test realm works. Okay, so let's blow this one up too. Let's get it big, make it nice and readable for you. Okay, so this is a really dumb one, okay? The frickin' Malevolent Locust, which is an arcane staff for those that don't know, it will no longer cleanse allies. It's just being frickin' nerfed. Why would you ever use this over the other arcane staffs now? There's no point. Now, here's the one. Here's the big one, okay? Daggers. With the upcoming new War Gloves weapon, they are reworking Black Hands into a more fitting item for the dagger line. The Black Hands were always out of place, apparently. I don't think so. I think Black Hands were fine. It's like an assassin, you know? It's like a big... whatever. I'm not going to argue on this video. I'm just going to tell you about it. They're being reworked into a one-handed dagger. With the same base stats as the regular dagger. So it's no longer an artifact weapon? That's fucking weird, isn't it? It should be an artifact weapon, because Black Hands are an artifact weapon, so the dagger tree is going to have 4 regular normie weapons? Like, that's going to drive someone with OCD insane. Alright, now, because it's one-handed, that means it's also going to be combined with offhands. So, you know, we might have a new dungeon farming weapon here. It might be. I think it actually sounds kind of cool. They're taking away Devastating Strike, so that's going to shake up the Corrupted Dungeon meta. You can no longer punch people, right? It's going to be replaced with Blood Ritual, which is you create a blade out of blood, and you swing in front of you dealing a bunch of damage, and you can do it 3 times. This sounds really good for dungeon farming, guys. And yeah, it does hurt you over 1 second, whatever. It's got a cooldown of 20 seconds, which is really fast, and it only costs 5 energy? Excuse me? That sounds way too cheap. This sounds like an overpowered broken dungeon farming weapon, guys. So be on the lookout for this. Maybe we should level up Black Hands now, so when this comes out, we can speedrun dungeons. Alright, so this is another dumb change. So, Holy Staves and Nature Staffs, when you equip them, you lose 50% of your damage. Okay? Now, but when you cast Smite, it increases your damage by 50%. Over 8 seconds. Okay? And then the same thing with the Nature Staff Thorns, increases your damage by 10% for 10 seconds, and it stacks up to 5 times. Am I going to have to spec out a Nature Staff? Like, I have so much spec into Nature Staff. It sounds like they're just ruining it. It sounds like I can't solo group dungeon bosses anymore with this change. Also, they're reworking Spirit Animal to have more range, and the base healing is going up. Now, Galatine Pair's getting a buff, guys. Oh my god, can you believe it? Galatine Pair already destroys people in ZVZ. But because they said they reduced AoE escalation, and so they're going to buff it back up. Like, by 30 base damage. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but 30 base damage, and then you get 8.3, and that's several hundred more damage. Like, you're going to delete health bars. It already deletes health bars, guys. Galatine Pair, you might want to spec this one up, because it's getting buffed. They're buffing Tower Chariot, which is a freaking battle mount. So yeah, that's the patch notes, guys. That is the Albion Online patch notes. Also, the NDA balance playtest patch notes of the upcoming changes. I can't believe they're getting rid of Black Hands. Guys, everyone, play Black Hands so we can retain the memory. It's going away. Why are they removing it from the game? There's people out there that only play this game to play Black Hands. Literally 50% of people in Corrupted Dungeons. But with that said, what do you guys think about these patch notes? I think that they took way too long to nerf the bow. I think some of these changes are stupid. I don't want to lose Black Hands. Guys, we need to tell SBI, do not take away our Black Hands. We need these. It's a fun weapon. I like it. It purges people. It punches them. I want to punch people. I know the new war gloves are all about punching and kicking. Yes, but they're not here yet, okay? Don't take away our Black Hands, please. Anyway, I'm SwoleBenji. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole. Leave a like and a comment. You gotta do both. When you do both, it is an algorithm cheat code. It is a YouTube combo. And 80% of you aren't subscribed. So hit that subscribe button. And if you want to know where I found these patch notes, this is on the Albion Online forums. And the other one is on the Albion Online front page. So there you go. I will see you in the next video. Take care. This one's a bonus video today. Two Albion videos in one day.